Good afternoon and welcome everyone to today's US markets update and third quarter earnings review. Great to see so many on today's webcast. My name is Kelly Main, Associate Portfolio Manager, and with me today are Fortrend CEO, Joe Forster, along with Portfolio Managers Stephen Lyle, Chris Wallerman, and Andrew Corcoran. We welcome question and answers throughout the presentation. Please feel free to click on the question and answers tab at the bottom of your screen to ask a question. We will do our best to answer it in a timely manner and as best as we can. With that, I'll now turn the presentation over to Joe.
Good evening. I guess in the United States, as the election is in full swing and it's uncertain where the outcome will be, there's an economic concept that we would learn in America in what we call Econ 1A, called guns versus butter. And the concept of guns versus butter is the idea of a limited productivity frontier that an economy has, and the choice that a government has to make between choosing to make, for example, guns or butter. The productivity efficiency frontier is now, let me see if I can get this up on the screen. It basically shows the government's ability with a finite number of resources to produce one or another food or defense. So let me see if I got control here. So it's a trade-off between finite resources that a government must make. And in the United States, of course, the US government has chosen the economy over containing the virus to the extreme of the models around the world. And the contrary, just coincidentally, the contrary extreme has been Victoria, the state of Victoria, where it's chosen containment over the economy to the extreme. And as a result of choosing one or the other, the frontier will contract. So the U.S. economic activity will fall, and the Victorian economic activity will fall more. In Europe, there's more of a combination between guns and butter and the choice of the economy over containment. As these frontiers contract, what we end up with is a new frontier from which we can grow in the future. And the vaccine, if one's coming shortly, will determine which of these strategies is going to work the best. For example, if a vaccine did come out tomorrow, then the US strategy, economic strategy, and I'm not talking about the deaths here, I'm talking about economic strategy and how it affects the stock market. A vaccine tomorrow, the US would win. If there's no vaccine, then Victoria would win by having a stronger frontier of productivity, but it would remain isolated from the rest of the world. And so the velocity of creative destruction, which is a concept that you should all be familiar with now, is going to affect these differences. For example, in Australia and Victoria in particular, we lose students because if we remain isolated with no vaccine, we're not going to be allowed to have these students coming into the universities. Whereas in the United States, the velocity of creative destruction is reflected in the FANGs, the Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Apple, and Google, and the rapidly shifting economy that there is in the United States. So I wanted to get this concept across of guns versus butter and help you understand that the US would benefit, has a much stronger economy than anywhere else in the world, but they do have more deaths.